What's up, everyone? Sean here, and we had a big day when it came to Super Smash Bros. Nintendo came out with their Direct, and they announced more information and quite a bit of important information on Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the 3DS, including some, more into the details on characters, the stages, some of the gameplay, and most importantly, the release date. Now, right away, I'm just gonna cover the release date, and it's a bit of bad news, and also a bit of good at the same time, depending on what your preferences are. But anyways, so let's get to it. Now, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the 3DS are confirmed to be coming out this year, of course, not 2015. Woo, thank God, right? But this is where it gets a little weird. Now, the 3DS is confirmed to come out on summer of 2014. And for the Wii U is coming out for winter 2014. Ah, man, it is such a tease, but at the same time, at least they're coming out this year, and it's happening, and for the people who have the 3DS, that's good news for them. I'm always been more of a console gamer. That's just me. It's my that's just my personal preference. However, I do own a 3DS, just a regular one, not the XL version. So maybe by that time, hopefully, I'll purchase a XL and maybe perhaps get the new Super Smash Bros. On the 3DS. Maybe, but I'm definitely I'll be waiting for the Wii U version. I don't know what they're gonna call it. Hopefully they're gonna call it Wii Super Smash Bros. 4. Keep it simple, but they're mostly probably gonna be calling it Super Smash Bros. U or something like that. Being the traditional company they are with Super Mario 64 and all this like other stuff that they've done with their titles. But anyways, it was such a fucking tease for me. I have to wait that much longer for Super Smash Bros. On the Wii U. I have always wanted to support the Wii U that much more because of the sales and the performance how it's been doing in sales. It's not doing terribly, but definitely when you compare it to the 3DS, it's 3DS is dominating, and they wanted to give priority to the 3DS because of that. It's just how it goes. You gotta make that money, right? So with that, definitely sales in the 3DS will skyrocket, and probably they'll come out with some kind of special edition regarding to Super Smash Bros. And that'll definitely help boost up the sales. And maybe a bundle will come out, who knows, but definitely the sales will skyrocket when it comes to the 3DS, and those handheld gamers will be very happy, and they got something to hold over for perhaps the Wii U version. But the 3DS version definitely has a lot of things that will make it unique and exclusive, and give more reason to why this version should be purchased. And there's also some things for the Wii U as well. But I think we can kind of move on from that. Now let's cover more on the 3DS version. Now, first off, I thought the really cool thing about the 3DS version is that because of how the system performs, they did something to compensate it, and I think it was a really smart idea. And what they did was for the main fighting, main characters, they have them run at the full 60 frames per second. But for the assist trophies or support characters, whatever you want to call them, they are going to be running at 30 frames per second. And so I thought that was a really good idea, just because, they're support characters, so people aren't going to care for them as much. And so I thought that was a really cool move on them, and who would have thought of that? It hasn't really been done in fighting games and other games of sort. So I think that's really cool, and I think the 3DS will with that. I think the 3DS will perform beautifully with this good set of design right here. So as we know, there's going to be different stages for both versions on, the Wii U and the 3DS. And during that bit, it really showed the game that it's running beautifully. It looks great, especially even on the 3DS. It looks fantastic. But on the Wii U, oh man, it's such a visual like eye candy. It's just, it has great lighting. The details is there. Even though we're looking at some very cartoony characters, it still looks beautiful. It definitely looks way better than Brawl. Of course, now that it's running on full HD. So because of that, it looks fantastic. It looks awesome. I love looking at it, and I'm definitely, looking forward to just staring at it and gazing upon it as I play the game. And I'm just really glad how it's turning out currently. Now, one thing I gotta mention is that there's some cool things about the Wii U stages, especially with how some boss characters are going to be implemented into the game. One of them is the Yellow Devil from the classic Mega Man series, and I think this is a really cool thing. What you do is you attack the boss in the eye, and what happens then if one is to attack it enough and lands the final blow, the Yellow Devil will explode, and that is pretty much your attack. It explodes and it sends your opponents, flying, and so it becomes this really, strategic game where you can attack your enemies, they're distracted, or you can just wait, camp out and try to land the last blow on the eye, and or you just straight up work hard at it, and be the one to activate the explosion. I thought that was really cool, and I thought it was really funny where in the video they teased the fact that Readily is not going to be a playable character, and so he's just going to be a boss character on a certain stage, and they just show his shadow. So I thought it was really funny how they kind of teased it. And yeah, so next they showed the online portion of the game, and it's of course online multiplayer. You will play with your friends of all that good stuff. But this particular bit really made me thought that this game is rather well thought out if you compare it to the previous iteration, which is Brawl. Yeah, if you compare the two, I really think this new version that's coming out is much more well thought out, and they've taken some considerations, especially with the online ban hammer, if you will, where if you rage quit, if you just troll online a lot, such as self-destructing and falsely report players and other such things, you will get a ban hammer, and the more you do get banned, it actually increases the length of that ban. So, and it's of course temporary, but still, if you keep getting yourself banned, it increases the length. So you gotta be careful on that. So it's really catering towards fair play and all that. So I thought that was pretty cool, that they've taken that to consideration, and they've also added 2 modes where you can play it casually, or you can play it hardcore, take it all out. And one is called For Fun. That's the casual mode. It's pretty much player match, and the other one's called For Glory. That's ranked. That's where the hardcore gameplay happens. And then of course the differences is that in For Fun, smash battles can happen, and you have items, and the stages are randomly selected, excluding Final Destination, and only the number of wins are recorded. So and the For Glory version, you have pretty much your wins and losses showed, and only Final Destination is selected, and there's no items, and there's one-on-one battles in this mode, and for fun mode, it's 4 players only, that kind of thing. So it's really what it is. It's for fun, and then the other one is for glory, hardcore. It's really treating both audiences, the more casual players and the hardcore players. So it's the best of both worlds. So I think that that was really cool. And this next little bit is a little weird for a lot of online players, and it's because of how they're gonna handle this ranking system, and it's not actually gonna show you what level you are. Rather, it's actually gonna show you a score, and it tells you how many people are not as good as you. So that means, for example, if you have a score of 300,000, that means you're better than these 300,000 people. So I thought that was a really weird thing that they're doing. Just because they said, this simple ranking system is too broad, blah 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 blah. I mean, I don't know. I really thought that was unnecessary. I just, really think that having a real, a traditional ranking system really motivates people to play the game, and gives them the reason why they should work through this, the online portion. And it's to level up. The feeling of leveling up is always a great feeling, and especially in a lot of the well-known fighting games such as Street Fighter, Marvel 3, Killer Instinct, and those kinds of games. And I don't know. I thought it was just really weird that they give this scoring system rather than the traditional leveling up system, but there's still a sort of goal per se to be better than this amount of people, but still, I just thought it was really weird. And by the way, this is called Global Smash Power, or GSP, maybe that's what they're gonna call it. But I just thought, it's just cheesy, and again, it's just strange that they went with this decision. And next, they showed some items and assist trophies, and it's not really nothing new, unless you're really into the items. They had the Ore Club, they had the Bombchu, which is from the Zelda Ocarina of Time, and the only assist trophy that really got me laughing was this one called Color TV Game number 15. It was basically Pong, and it was definitely an assist trophy. It serves as a great distraction for your opponents, and I don't know. I just thought it was really funny the way they had the Pong thing going on, and I just thought it was comical and hilarious. And the next one is Pokemon, and one can come to expect that there's new Pokemon, and there's some from Pokemon X, there's some Pokemon Black and White 2, and a whole bunch, and it's just nothing really new to expect. Now on to a much more important bit, and that's the returning fighters, because they did a lot of changes on these fighters, and this is a part where it also shows that this game is much more thought out. And one of them is the fact that all the characters that change form will not do that, and instead their other forms will become separate characters. For example, Samus had her final smash, which is like this big ass laser, which is called the Zero Laser, if I'm correct. And usually in Brawl, her armor falls apart and she becomes Zero Suit Samus. But now Zero Suit Samus is a separate character, and regular Samus is able to keep her moveset and keep it consistent, which is in the end, it's for the best to keep it consistent, and you don't have to deal with this weird design and all that. So what they did with Zero Suit Samus is they actually buffed her up a bit, and they added jet boots to her, so she can be on par with the fighters. And I thought her redesign looked really cool, in my opinion. She just looked overall just awesome to look at, and and of course we gotta have the more attractive female characters in Super Smash. Anyways, and another example is Sheik. Sheik is now a separate character as well, and they actually give her new moves with I think they replaced her not her little like needles with a grenade. So I thought that was kind of interesting, but also they added a kick to her, since her B down was her originally her transform move, and now this B down move is just a sort of a special kick, if you will. Not really much to it. Another character I wanted to talk about is Lucario, and because of the fact that his attacks are much more powerful now. He's buffed, and same with King Dedede, but more importantly Lucario, because Lucario is something I want to talk about because Lucario was originally a character where if Lucario dealt a lot of damage, his attacks become more powerful. But now with this, he's even more powerful. He still has the effect, and if you damage him more, his attacks become more powerful. And already with that, he has more buffs, so he's even more powerful. But however, he's a lot harder to control. They show that his up B attack is much more harder to control, and you can actually overpower yourself and just shoot off the stage, and you can die that way. And adding more to that, Lucario even has even more changes, including his Mega Evolution form, and now you have Mega Lucario on top of that. And on top, and after that, he's even more powerful after that. So it's just crazy. I don't know how this is going to be implemented. I think it's going to be his final smash. They didn't really specify how he's going to attain this form. Probably going to be his final smash. Originally his other final smash was that giant beam, Aura Storm, I think it was called. But yeah, I think his Mega Evolution will be his final smash. So another interesting change that they did with the character is Captain Olimar and the Pikmin. He got nerfed in a way because he can only have 3 Pikmin at a time, and now he can only pluck them out in a certain order or something like that. But with that nerf, they also added some changes that will make management a lot easier. They now come out in a fixed order, so that means the red, yellow, and blue come out first, and then I think it was the purple and the white or something like that, and then back to red. And I thought that was really interesting. Now that he only has 3 Pikmin at a time, but it's for the best. I thought he was pretty good in Brawl with all those Pikmin out, and but randomly, of course, you never had them in a certain order. And another change that Captain Olimar went through is that his up B move is now an actual flying kind of attack, where his recovery options are much more broader now, and instead of his the rope thing that he did with Pikmin, I thought that was a weird thing, for a weird way for him to recover, and it didn't always work that well. So I thought that this new one is pretty cool. It's him using the winged Pikmin, and the thing is that the more Pikmin that you have with you, the heavier you become. So especially with the purple Pikmin. So I thought that was a pretty interesting mechanic. And another change that they did with character is Pit. I thought that was interesting because now Pit is a much more normal character in Super Smash Bros. Because of his gliding mechanics being cut, and his recovery move is now just a straight up boost, if you will, kind of like a Fox's Firefox attack. And yeah, he's much more manageable, and his attacks I think they're more powerful, I believe. And his final smash is much more useful, I think. It's him using the 3 sacred treasures, so it's pretty much him being powered up into a new form. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing. And now I think more people are going to choose Pit, and you have a much more broader selection when you're playing online. And it's also mentioned that they also added some buffs to other characters as well, but they weren't really too detailed on that. And there are also some bits where they showed some trophies in a rather weird, in a rather funny fashion. It kind of reminded me of Pokemon. It's like, who's that trophy? That kind of thing. I thought that was hilarious. The biggest change, I guess, is Yoshi. Yoshi is now much more upright, so his attacks are supposedly better, they said. And he received several buffs as well. So now he's not much of a weird character, I guess. And with that, he's gonna be one of those characters that are gonna be selected more online, hopefully, with these buffs. And also, of course, they showed off the newer characters that like Rosalina and Mega Man and much more. And I kind of want to cover Rosalina. Rosalina is one of those different types. She's not quite normal because of her ally, which is Luma, and they kind of work like ice climbers. And their attacks kind of work together in unison and in that kind of sense. And I thought Rosalina was pretty well designed in terms of how she battled, and especially with her gravitational move, her gravitational pull, which is down B. I thought that was really cool, the way they implemented a defensive special move with Rosalina. Because of the space theme surrounding the game she's from, which is Super Mario Galaxy. I thought it was really cool the way their attacks just kind of just bend around her. I thought that was really sweet of how they work that with Rosalina. And one of my new favorite characters that are coming to Super Smash Bros. Is Little Mac. I love how Little Mac is implemented into the game. He's a rushdown character with powerful attacks when he's on the ground. And yeah, he's definitely a much more fighting oriented character. A lot of people who played fighting games such as Street Fighter and Marvel and all that stuff are gonna probably be favoring Little Mac a little more because of how he plays. And the thing about Little Mac though, he absolutely is bad in the air. His attacks are just suck pretty much in the air. So I thought that was a pretty good balance with Little Mac. Makes sense, right? Because Little Mac he's a boxer, so he never does any jumping attacks high in the air, unless you count his side B attack, which is like this like awesome looking leaping punch that actually allows him to avoid attacks as he throws out a punch. So I thought it was a really cool one, and it animates really well and looks really cool. And his final smash is called Giga Mac, and pretty much I think it's just him being just big. And so, and another thing I want to talk about is his power meter. And it's confirmed that when he throws out attacks and takes damage, his power meter fills up, and once it fills up, his attacks are just insane, and they become one-hit KOs. So that's why they really limited his air attacks and his recovery options. His up B is only straight up, so you can't really do much in the air. So that's why he's really good on the ground. So if you want to play Little Mac, your number one strategy is to stay on the ground pretty much, and just watch out for people who want to launch you in the air. But you do have a good selection of moves when you're on the ground. So yeah, Little Mac is going to be really cool and fun to play with, I think. And I also thought that it was really cool for them to put in his wireframe costume into the game. I don't know, I thought that was really awesome that they did that. For the sake of nostalgia, especially for the fans who played Punch-Out on the NES. Again, I thought that was really sweet that they did that. And next up I want to talk about is Mega Man. A lot of his moves that have been shown, and we get to see more of how he attacks and all that. And he definitely has the attacks from after defeating bosses such as Metal Man and Elect Man and whatever. And he also has his Mega Upper from Marvel vs. Capcom games, and I thought it was really cool that they threw that in there. He's definitely going to be a fun character to play with. But the one thing I really want to mention is that his final smash, oh my god, is such a tease. Like it's him and 4 other Mega Man from other games such as Battle. I think it was called Battle Network, and then definitely we got Mega Man X, and then there was I think it was Star Force it was called. But yeah, of course they had to throw in Mega Man Legends. Mega Man Volnet. Even though I've never really played Mega Man Legends, I thought Mega Man Volnet was a pretty cool character to look at because of, I don't know, his human elements with his hair and all that. So it was such a fucking like hype thing. It's such a big fucking tease that oh, look at these characters, what they look like in Super Smash Brothers. You know, what they could have looked like if they were playable. But still, I thought it was really cool that that it's his final Smash, and I thought it was a really cool idea that, you know, to throw in 4 more Mega Man into his final Smash. So, and it's most likely a, you know, one of those big beam kind of attacks. So sort of like Samus's Zero Laser, but still, it's just I mean, just look at it, just bam, right there in your face. Like, oh my god, it's just mind blowing. Like, I don't know. I thought I was just so like blown away of how Mega Man has this as a final Smash. So I don't know. I was just at a loss of words when it came to that. I mean, Mega Man is just with all this like with all the beams and stuff. It was just so fucking awesome to look at. Now the next one I want to talk about is Wii Fit Trainer, and I thought you know, hers was pretty interesting because of one of her moves is called Sun Salutation, which is basically an attack where once you start it, it like builds up within you, and then once you hit the button again, you unleash it, and the longer you hold it, the more powerful it becomes. And then there's another one called Deep Breathing. That's a buff move. It makes her stronger. Her attack power goes up, and yeah, you can use that in combination of her Sun Salutation to, you know, finish them off and all that. So you know, I thought it was really cool that and funny, you know, for Wii Fit Trainer to have yoga moves implemented into your fighting style. And another thing I thought was really funny is that they added the male trainer in there. So now it's Wii Fit Trainers rather than just Wii Fit Trainer. You don't have to, you know, be a female. You could also be a male if you want to. So, you know, I don't know. I thought it was pretty funny that they added that in there as well. You know, I guess to really make it universal when it comes to Wii Fit Trainer. And another interesting bit that they did with the gameplay is they had this thing called custom special moves, where you can customize how your special moves work, such as with Mario, he has a slower fireball, but that fireball does more damage. And then you can also have a fireball where you can shoot multiple fireballs rapidly, kind of like how Fox's blaster works. You can, you know, rapidly shoot it, but there's no stun at all. There's no like knockback or anything like that. But the only thing is that you can only use this in you know, offline portions or online battling against only your friends. So it's essentially kind of like a goof mode, if you will, and it's just for you to have fun with it, casually with your friends. Otherwise, the competitive portion will just be broken. Like, of course, people are just gonna be choosing all these like weird, you know, combinations of customizable special moves. And then next, back to the 3DS version, they added this bit called it's sort of like a dungeon mode, if you will, and it's called Smash Run, and it's just pretty much a big stage, and you're just going around and looking for enemies, and you're also looking for power-ups and all that, and yeah, you're just finding your way to, you know, become stronger and all that. And I don't know, I thought it was a pretty interesting bit. It kind of reminds you of Subspace Missionary, which was essentially story mode for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. And this is only in the 3DS version. I don't know what they're gonna do with the Wii U version. Are they gonna add a, you know, exclusive mode for that? Who knows? We'll just have to find out in the future. And lastly, in the last few minutes, they showed 2 more characters, and 2 of these characters are Pokemon. So I back in one of my videos, I was hoping that they added more Pokemon, and yeah, one of them is Charizard. So of course, you gotta throw in Charizard. You know, he's an awesome old school Pokemon, and of course he's of course considered as a returning character from Brawl because of, you know, Pokemon Trainer. Now he's on his own, and I think he has different attacks, and hopefully he's much more useful in this one. The next one I thought was really interesting and funny, and it was Greninja. Greninja is now in this game, and he is sort of a ninja type Pokemon, if you will, and Pokemon X and Y. He's a starter Pokemon. He is the water type starter Pokemon, and he essentially evolves to this ninja kind of Pokemon. And I thought his attacks look cool. He essentially is kind of like Strider from Marvel's Capcom or whatever. And you can throw in. I was kind of expecting that they're throwing in Pokemon X and Y in there somehow in some way, to really further promote Pokemon X and Y. And a lot of the fans are kind of disappointed in a way, especially with the old school Pokemon fans, and just kind of like, who is this? He's just kind of like this ninja looking thing. But yeah, it's just for me, it was just something that I've seen coming, and I expected highly of. And I don't know, I'm not really bummed out about it. I think it was an interesting choice, especially out of the three starting Pokemon. I mean, I don't think I forgot the name for the fire starter Pokemon in the final evolution, the mage looking one. I think it was like Delphox, or I don't know. But anyways, I thought that would have been a weird choice because we already have a sorcerer type of character, and that's Rosalina. She uses a wand, and then the starter, the fire Pokemon, also uses a sort of a wand type of thing. So I don't know. I thought it was really interesting that they put Greninja of all Pokemon into this one, and now we have 4 Pokemon. So we have Pikachu, we have Lucario, now we have Charizard and Greninja. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention they have Charizard's Mega Form. I think they show the Black Charizard ones, which you find in Pokemon X. So I thought that was pretty cool that they throw that in there as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it from this announcement. I thought that this was a pretty good presentation because of the things that they have announced, including a release date. Now they've confirmed it. Now we know how much we have to wait. And on the 3DS it's summer, and Wii U is this coming winter. So it may be later, but at least we know how. Now we have to wait this long. And yeah, and it's happening. It's moving forward. It's making progress. Now we just have to wait, and hopefully we get more things coming in this coming weeks and months. And the only thing I was bummed out about is that they didn't confirm whether Captain Falcon and or Ganondorf are even coming back. So yeah, I think they're gonna save that for maybe during maybe E3 or something. But hopefully they announce that before the 3DS version comes out, because they said that the 3DS and the Wii U roster is gonna be pretty much remaining the same. There's no like exclusive characters for each version, so hopefully they have Captain Falcon in there and or Ganondorf. I always use Ganondorf. He was my favorite character from Melee and Brawl. So I don't know. Hopefully they add either one of those characters or both of them. That would be pretty nice, right? And yeah, and of course I really liked how they showed more of the gameplay, and it really showed me that this game is much more thought out. They're putting much more thought and effort into it, and it's much more well designed in my opinion from what I see. And the graphics look just sweet to look at. They are fantastic, and with the lighting and the colors and all that. And of course the characters themselves look great, with the slight redesigns and the other big designs they did for some characters. And yeah, it just really looks cool to look at. And the stages, and oh yeah, I almost forgot. Wow. One important bit that they did with the stages is that because of how competitive gaming works, like they always want Final Destination, and so you have just one stage and this one music. In Sakurai wanted to show what the game had to offer, instead of people just having to play Final Destination all the time and just miss out on what the game has to offer. And what they did was that they added a Final Destination sort of version for most of the other stages. So that's a really good call. So now that you have be able to have much bigger variety and for competitive gameplay, and be able to experience more from the game. So I thought that was a really cool move that they did, and yeah, I'm really glad they did that. I don't want to always look at Final Destination. It gets boring after a while, especially with Melee and Brawl. I mean, it is a fun stage, but it's just it gets repetitive. So I really thought that this was a great move, and now we have much more to look at and to experience. And anything else I wanted to cover? Oh yeah, and of course, we were able to see more from the new characters. I thought that was really cool, especially with Mega Man with that freaking Final Smash. It's just it just reeks of hype. It's just, oh man, wow. I thought that was really awesome that they did that. And yeah, and the new characters are, I thought that was really cool. That they put Charizard in there, throw in some more old school, and then and throw in some new school as well to give it a much more balanced spread of Pokemon in the roster. So, I mean, you gotta have some new Pokemon and old Pokemon to give it some more variety and show equal treatment for each generation, instead of just like leaving out and alienating one part of the generation and then favoring the other. And also, what's really great that what they did with Super Smash Bros. In this version is that they removed some of the annoying mechanics such as slipping and falling, and and again the changing forms, and other such things. And now it's becoming more of a serious game for competitors and fun for casual players. So I definitely want to play it and see how it feels now, and hopefully it'll be on par with something like Super Smash Bros. Melee. And yeah, with that, overall I'm really pleased, and I'm way more hyped than ever for Super Smash Bros. I don't know if I'm gonna get the 3DS, maybe, but who knows, right? I could just suddenly have this like crave for Super Smash Bros. And I'm just like, I want to play, so I just get the 3DS version first, and then just wait for Wii U. But with that aside, and despite that, I'm just excited, and I know how much I have to wait for, and I know it's gonna happen in 2014. I am super excited, and I'm hoping that they announce more and more and more. I just want to hear what they have to offer in the future, and again, I want to see hopefully Captain Falcon and or Ganondorf back in there, and they're probably gonna throw in more clone characters, but who knows? Only the future holds these answers. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll be sure to give my thoughts on more updates on Super Smash Brothers, and God, I'm just so excited now. I just right, and just so hyped. Anyways, that's it for me. I hope you guys liked the video, and liked what I had to say about it. If you want to leave any opinions, thoughts about what's been presented so far with Super Smash Brothers, leave a comment down below, and I'll be sure to try to reply to them. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for more videos like these. I just love talking about video games, and especially with Super Smash Brothers and all the other upcoming games for the Wii U. I just can't wait. And I don't know who knows, this might help and save Wii U, or maybe not. But again, only time can tell. So this has been my opinion on the latest update on Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the 3DS, with that release date confirmed. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time. Sean out.